Dr. the Honorable Ebène, Minister of Finance, Economic Planning and Development, the Honorable Mahan Kumar Siadan, Minister of Financial Services and Good Governance, Mr. Rajesh Sharma Ramlan, Solicitor General and Vice Chairperson of the FSC, Mr. Sarwan Singh Kwamisa, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Financial Services and Good Governance, and Board Member of the FSC, my fellow board members, Mrs. Satna Gopal, Second Deputy Governor of the Bank, my counterparts of the EDB, Mr. M.R. Hamyal, CSK, Mr. Danishwar Thakur, CE of the FSC, Mr. Ken Budusamy, CEO of the Economic Development Board, Mrs. Paba Pakilichinia, Registrar of Corporate and Business Registration Department, my friend Dick, I see you there, Chairman of the and how many friends above you? Unfortunately, I can't mention the names of all of you, but I would wish to mention Mahesh, Mr. Hulash, and Mr. Samant, because these guys, I need them. They represent the industry. So I found here we have representatives of the industry. I won't mention any then. Friends of the press, distinguished guests, including those following virtually, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. So it's written good morning here. Well, when I was young, I think I still am, I read a book by Charles Dickens. The name of the book was The Great Expectations. The main male character of the book was a guy named Philip. He was an orphan. One day, he went to visit the grave of his father. He wanted to have an opinion of what his father looked like when he was alive. So visiting the grave, he made an opinion of what his father looked like. He was happy with the image he formed in his mind, and he lived with it thereafter. Similarly, when people hear my name too, they make an opinion of who I am, what I look like. Well, it's anybody's guess. It is indeed a great pleasure for me, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome you all to the launch of the FSC single window system. On this 21st day of July. The 21st of July is the day on which Alexander the Great was born. I must surely be reminding you of your school days. The famous actor and comedian Robin Williams was also born on the 21st of July. I can but only hope a similar future for our FSC single window system. The FSC single window system is a collaboration between the Commission, the Economic Development Board, and the Registrar of Companies. I am delighted by this collaboration. Charles Darwin, the same Charles Darwin, of whom you know, who said that we derive from a species, I won't mention the name of that species, said, in the long history of mankind, those who have learned to collaborate have prevailed. This collaboration will be entrenched in a memorandum of understanding that will be signed between the three parties in a while. The MOU will set out the framework of cooperation of the parties in their common pursuit to set up the single window system. Ladies and gentlemen, if everybody works forward together, then success takes care of itself. I am pleased to state that the FSC single window system is an inspiration of the former chairperson of the Commission, and now Minister of Finance and Economic Development, Dr. the Honorable Renmelatan Parehasi, who is here today as our chief guest. The Honorable Mahan Kumar Sivatan has also put all his weight to see this project materialized. I think that they both deserve an ovation from our part. I will not do justice here if I were not to put on record the collaboration of the operators in the financial services sector. For the FSC, the role of operators is here. The biggest challenge will be to make the window fully operable and functional. We know the fate many one-stop shops have suffered. I hope that this one becomes a busy and dynamic platform, really serving the purpose for which it has been designed. The success of this endeavor will to a large extent depend on operators. While the role of the regulators and authorities is to provide a conducive environment to do business, the role of operators, in addition to adhere to best international practices, be it in terms of business conduct or the prevention of money laundering and the financing of terrorism, is to deploy sustained efforts to make this work. The FSC single window system will be a focal point to promote and facilitate investment in Mauritius. In recent years, the financial landscape has transformed due to digitalization. And this rapid pace of change has impacted the ways markets and investors need to evolve. The not-so-remote cascade of events, of which the COVID-19 pandemic, which was an overwhelming health crisis turning into an overwhelming economic crisis, and the Russia-Ukraine war have led to unprecedented challenges. One of the lessons learned is that there is a strong need for continuous review of our financial architecture and a need to promote best international practices. The FSC single window system, therefore, comes at an opportune time for both local and foreign investors willing to invest in Mauritius. The FSC single window will leverage on digital channels, such as the FS1 platform, To meet the demands of prospective investors willing to apply for a license, occupational permits, and other authorizations from either the FSC, the EDB, or the Registrar of Companies, or all of them. I won't be long. This single window will allow applicants to book a single appointment online with the FSC, the Economic Development Board, and the Registrar of Companies. Meet the representatives of the three authorities at the dedicated premises of the Flamboyant Lounge, which will host the FSC single window. The name Flamboyant has been chosen by the CE of the FSC. I like the word flamboyant, and I find the name given to the premises appropriate. The single window will also discuss investment propositions and obtain guidance from these different authorities. Ladies and gentlemen, we have set our vision high. We aim to provide a business-friendly service to prospective investors through a coordinated and streamlined manner. The road, I know, won't be an easy one, as there is currently no shortage of issues to resolve. Both the authorities and operators need to move fast if they are to evolve and work towards making Mauritius a jurisdiction of choice in the region. Our ranking in terms of competitiveness, investment climate, and governance makes Mauritius a trustworthy jurisdiction which inspires investors' confidence. As Victor Hugo said, the future has several names. For the weak, it is impossible. For the faint-hearted, it is unknown. But for the valiant, it is ideal. Let us then work together as one team to ensure that when we look back one day, we can take pride on how we contributed in making the financial sector and the economy, in guiding the financial sector and the economy in the right direction. With this, I wish the Commission, the EDB, and the Registrar of Companies a successful launch for the single window, and may potential investors and other stakeholders benefit from this initiative. No, it's not over yet. I have a piece of good news before I end. I'm pleased to announce that the FSC has been appointed as the representative of the Africa Middle East Regional Committee of the UNESCO. As you know, the UNESCO is the global standard setter for the securities market regulation. This is indeed a matter of great pride for the FSC and the country in general. It's now over. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you heartily for your kind attention.
Thank you, Chairperson, for your address. I now have the pleasure to invite Mr. Hemraj Ramyal, CSK, Chairperson of the Economic Development Board, to deliver his keynote address.
I must firstly reckon that it is quite a difficult task to deliver a speech just after my good friend, Mr. Kona. But I will try my best. Dr. the Honorable Ranganathan Paliachi, Minister of Finance, Economic Planning and Development. Honorable Mahen Thomas Ratan, Minister of Financial Services and Good Governance. Mr. Madea Kona Yeruku Nandu, Chairperson for the Financial Services Commission. Mr. Ken Kulusamy, Chief Executive Officer of the Economic Development Board. Mr. Daneshwar Nath-Thakur, Chief Executive of the Financial Services Commission. Mr. Prabhat Chinian, the Registrar of Companies. distinguished guests, I think we have a lot of personalities this afternoon. Sorry, I might miss some of your names, so I reckon I leave you your presence today. Members of the press, all protocols observed. A very good afternoon to you all. Thank you for being with us here today for the launch of the FSC single window system. While we have all been accustomed to virtual meetings, it is indeed a privilege to be back to normal. The fact that we are able to meet physically can only strengthen the spirit behind which the single window system has been designed. As the chairman of the FSC rightly pointed out in his expose, and also with great expectations, this system will be a dedicated portal and a channel to facilitate investors for expeditious submissions of documents and applications for relevant permits. This system forms a quintessential part of recommendation of the blueprint for the financial services sector, and its prime aim is to enhance ease of doing business in Mauritius. In order to operationalize the system, EDB will lend all the support needed, as enumerated in the tripartite MOU with the FSC and the CBRD. It is noteworthy that this single window corroborates with what EDB is doing on other fronts as per its mandate, which is, amongst others, to provide institutional support, promote Mauritius as an international financial center, and ensure conducive business environment. Ladies and gentlemen, the business facilitation environment indeed figures high on the agenda of the government. As you are aware, the government has introduced several standalone online platforms to ease doing business in Mauritius and ensure an efficient and effective delivery service to stakeholders and investors alike. Not very long ago, the EDB instituted the National Electronic Licensing System, NELS, which emanates from the Improving the Business and Investment Climate in Mauritius project. The National E-Licensing Platform is implemented to curtail inefficiencies and provide more certainty to the business community. To further simplify the process to start operations, several other reforms are underway. For instance, the government has started a review exercise to streamline the regulatory framework for the general business environment and for some specific sectors including healthcare, tourism, construction and trade, amongst others. This project is also part of the Improving the Business Investment Climate in Mauritius project. Ladies and gentlemen, we are constantly working towards positioning Mauritius among the most business-friendly jurisdiction in the world, and the financial services sector represents the linchpin of the Mauritian economy. This essential industry has witnessed a growth rate exceeding 5% over the last 5 years, and currently contributes to approximately 13% of the Mauritian economy and directly employing around 15,000 professionals. At the level of the Economic Development Board, the marketing and development of the financial services sector represent an integral part of its core functions. In fact, the EDB has a directorate dedicated to the sector, comprising a full-fledged team who are facilitating investors, developing new verticals, and marketing the sector internationally across Asian, Middle Eastern, African, Australian, as well as American countries. And together with the CEO present today, we wish to reiterate our full commitment to ensure the visibility of IFC as one of choice and of repute. Distinguished guests, EDB will certainly mobilize the resources and will provide full support in ensuring the success of the single window system. I must stress that this trilateral collaboration between our three institutions will provide certainty, predictability, and comfort to the investing community in conducting their affairs in Mauritius. We are confident that with the participation of industry players who are present today, we will leave no stone unturned in instilling further trust and confidence in our jurisdiction and ensuring efficient and timely setting up of investment projects. On this note, I thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you, Mr. Penghaj Hamyal, for your address. I now have the pleasure to invite the Honorable Mahen Kumar Singleton, Minister of Financial Services and Good Governance, to deliver his keynote address.
Thank you. My colleague, Dr. the Honorable Ranganathan Padayachi, Minister of Finance, Economic Planning and Development, Mr. Pamisa, the Foreign Secretary of my Ministry, Chairperson and Directors of the FSC, Chairperson and Directors of the EDB, Mr. Prabhat Chinya, from the Corporate and Business Registration Department, all distinguished guests present here, a very good afternoon to you all. It is indeed for me a great pleasure and privilege that I'm addressing you for the official launch of the FSC single window, which is a major addition to our attributes to increase the ease of doing business in Mauritius. It's a recommendation of the blueprint for financial services, which aims at enhancing ease of doing business in Mauritius. Ladies and gentlemen, indeed today is a day of no small importance. Government, regulators, industry, associations, and market operators have assembled to witness another important milestone in the implementation of the recommendations of the blueprint to enhance the attractiveness and the ease of doing business of the financial services sector. You will recall, ladies and gentlemen, that the main objectives of the blueprint is to double the contribution of the financial services sector to the GDP by 2030, and this can be achieved by ensuring that Mauritius remains an attractive financial center. The blueprint report recommended that it was necessary to implement user-friendly processes for the financial services sector and be able to retain and attract our investors. I have no doubt that this single window will undoubtedly largely contribute in meeting these objectives. The single window is one of the innovations of the FSC, in bringing, in collaboration with the EDB and the Corporate and Business Registration Department, to deliver better business services and improve the investor experience in Mauritius. The FSC single window will help to build credibility and promote trust in regulatory activity, which are essential ingredients for a competitive and successful international financial center. By making regulatory service accessible at a mere click, we are generating positive user experience and upgrading to the ultimate form of ease of doing business. The chairperson of the FSC has highlighted the major features of the single window, that we are operating in a competitive world. So to retain existing investors and attract new ones, a world-class service is imperative. At a mere click, ladies and gentlemen, the whole business facilitation process of the single window will unfold and offer access to three authorities, namely the FSC, the CBRD, and the EDB, to exploring their investment needs and obtaining guidance from the different authorities, as well as processing applications in a streamlined and coordinated manner. Ladies and gentlemen, this one-stop shop structure will undoubtedly go a long way in elevating the score of Mauritius in the Ease of Doing Business Index. The launch today is an announcement to the world that we are constantly re-engineering our processes and regulatory environment so that it is easier to establish and conduct business in Mauritius. We are sending out a strong message that we are committed in carrying out the reforms that we need, and we are doing what the markets expect of us. Ladies and gentlemen, considered among one of the leading international financial centers by the African and global business community, Mauritius is a preferred platform for doing business in Africa, ranking first on the continent for Ease of Doing Business report in 2020. The country has an attractive business environment, and coupled with a strong regulatory environment, attracts many corporates, entrepreneurs, investors, and high net worth individuals. This recognition by the World Bank reaffirms the competitiveness of Mauritius as a jurisdiction conducive to the business and is testimony to the efforts and commitment of government to modernize the economy through structural reforms. The financial services sector has a pivotal role to play in the growth and prosperity of the economy through its role as the provider of financial intermediation services to business and consumers of financial products. Ladies and gentlemen, you will recall that whilst the country was at a complete halt because of the COVID-19 pandemic, the financial services sector was one of the sectors which continued to operate because of the personalized service we could offer to our investors. In fact, we managed to have a growth rate of 1% in 2020, followed by a growth rate of 4.6% in 2021. This is a reason for which we are ever more convinced that this sector has a major potential to become a more stronger pillar for our economy. Therefore, this government considers it as its responsibility to create the right environment for individuals and companies to access markets and to have the support that would be beneficial to them. In the same vein, last year, the FSC launched the FSC One platform, which was developed in-house. This one-of-a-kind platform has revolutionized the way the FSC process applications. The ecosystem today, ladies and gentlemen, demands the need for services to be centralized and data to be streamlined to facilitate business transactions. Similarly, other significant reforms have included the automation of public services, reviewing of licensing procedures and regulatory amendments through the Business Facilitation Miscellaneous Provisions Act of 2017 and the Business Facilitation Miscellaneous Provisions Act of 2019 in line with international best practices. Today, through the National Electronic Licensing System, most business licensing, including building and land use licenses, can now be processed online. More so, The incorporation of a business entity can be done by a registered management company in a matter of days, subject, of course, to the required documentation being provided in a correct and timely manner. Ladies and gentlemen, the Mauritius International Financial Center has all the characteristics to be a jurisdiction of choice for the region and globally. A robust legal and regulatory framework, a transparent governance structure, its strategic geographic location and bilingualism, and easy access to markets and availability of high-quality professional and support services, modern office accommodation, and an efficient ICT infrastructure. Ladies and gentlemen, there have been good and challenging times. I'm even more convinced after our exit from the FATF and the EU list that we have all the tools in hand to attract investors and meet our objective to double the contribution of the financial services sector to GDP. Furthermore, I'm also very happy to say that our ties with the private sector has never been stronger. Ties between regulatory bodies and government agencies have also never been stronger. The silver lining is that we have established a new way of doing business. We have instilled such a culture of coordination and cooperation which is here to stay, and there is no going back. It is said that sometimes we need a crisis to turn challenges into opportunities. And you will agree with me that turning setbacks into strength and possibilities is in fact very telling about what we are as a country and who we are as a nation. Ladies and gentlemen, let me first again wish to congratulate the FSC's EDB and the CBRD for their joint efforts and collaboration in making this single window initiative a reality. Operators of the industry are requested to use this service in the most efficient and effective manner. It is crucial that all partners in the sector demonstrate the highest level of competence to maintain the good repute of Mauritius as a jurisdiction internationally recognized for its good governance rules, transparency, and safe to invest. We must continue working towards our strategy to position Mauritius as an international financial center of choice and repute, whilst at the same time contribute towards its recognition as an important player in the region. So on this note, ladies and gentlemen, let me again thank the three institutions for having joined hands together to make this platform a reality. And thank you all for being present here to witness this crucial moment. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, for your address. I now have the pleasure to invite Dr. the Honorable Ranganathan Padayachi, Minister of Finance, Economic Planning and Development, to deliver his inaugural speech.
Mon collègue, l'honorable Mahen Koumar Siratan, ministre des Services financiers et de la bonne gouvernance, Monsieur Emraj Ramnial, président du conseil d'administration de l'Economic Development Board, Monsieur Kona Yerukunundu, je fais des efforts, président de la commission des services financiers, la FSC, et premier sous-gouverneur de la Banque de Maurice, Madame Gopal, Madame Chignan, les membres du conseil d'administration de la FSI, M. Takou, M. Parmessor, représentants des institutions publiques et opérateurs privés, amis de la presse, chers invités, mes anciens collègues, mesdames et messieurs, bon après-midi à tous. C'est vraiment pour moi un plaisir aujourd'hui d'être parmi vous à l'occasion du lancement de la plateforme du Single Window en tant que guichet unique au siège de la FSI. Pour nous, c'est une avancée importante qui constitue la nouvelle pierre à l'édifice national de notre projet d'attractivité du territoire. Mesdames et messieurs, ce gouvernement et surtout notre Premier ministre a toujours placé le développement au cœur de son projet. Le lancement de cette plateforme s'intègre dans sa vision et est porté au plus haut sommet de l'État. En effet, le système de guichet unique pour les investisseurs avait été annoncé par l'honorable Pravin Kumar Jagnat dans le budget 2019-2020, pas si loin de cela, dans les termes qui suivent. Pour faciliter la conduite des affaires dans le secteur, un système de guichet unique sera mis en place à la FSI afin de permettre la soumission de documents pour les services financiers et les applications commerciales internationales. Et aujourd'hui, c'est avec beaucoup de fierté, en tant qu'un ancien président de la commission, que je vois ce projet aboutir. Je félicite ceux qui étaient déjà présents et ceux, à l'instar du ministre, du chairman, du CI, du conseil d'administration, qui ont repris le flambeau de ce projet d'envergure pour le secteur des services financiers, mais surtout pour notre économie dans son ensemble. Mesdames et messieurs, alors que nous vivons des temps incertains, ce gouvernement transforme chaque défi en opportunité. Malgré les crises des 2 dernières années qui auraient pu mettre à mal l'ensemble de notre structure économique, nous nous sommes relevés et accélérerons notre programme pro-investissement. Plus que jamais, Maurice s'engage à faciliter les affaires et à accueillir de nouveaux investisseurs en améliorant continuellement son cadre réglementaire, institutionnel et de bonne gouvernance. Clarté, certitude, cohérence sont les maîtres mots de notre politique de facilitation des affaires. Et cela afin d'assurer que la confiance demeure auprès des investisseurs existants et prospectifs. Notamment, grâce au blueprint que nous avons lancé en 2018, le secteur possède une stratégie claire pour consolider sa position de centre financier international de renom. Il faut souligner que le pays a construit des atouts solides au fil des années. Une main-d'œuvre qualifiée, des infrastructures modernes, un environnement favorable aux affaires et surtout la prévalence de l'État de droit et une économie dynamique sont quelques-unes des caractéristiques qui ont attiré les investisseurs à s'installer à Maurice et surtout à y rester. Mesdames et messieurs, grâce à la stratégie promue par ce gouvernement, Maurice est actuellement classé 13e au niveau mondial dans le dernier indice Ease of Doing Business de la Banque mondiale, 20e au niveau mondial dans l'indice de démocratie et classé comme une démocratie complète, ainsi que 23e au niveau mondial dans l'indice de paix global. Qui plus est, Maurice est également le seul pays d'Afrique à être reconnu comme investment grade avec le Botswana. Enfin, Le score de liberté économique attribué à Maurice est de 70,9, ce qui fait de notre économie la 30e plus libre au monde selon l'indice Heritage 2022. Maurice se classe ainsi au premier rang des 47 pays de la région d'Afrique subsaharienne et son score global est supérieur aux moyennes régionales, mais aussi et surtout mondiales. Mesdames et messieurs, pour accroître encore davantage ces excellentes performances, plusieurs réformes majeures ont été menées par ce gouvernement au cours des dernières années. Depuis 2017, nous avons modifié plus de 50 textes de loi et avons établi un Regulatory Impact Assessment Framework. Cela a largement porté ses fruits puisque Maurice, malgré le contexte, a continué et continue de jouer un rôle central pour attirer les investissements directs étrangers. Par ailleurs, il est prévu que les IDE pour l'année 2022 dépassera la barre des 20 milliards de roupies. Et j'en souhaite tout le courage au CEO, qui est juste en face de moi, M. Ken Sami, pour réaliser cet objectif. Cet élan nous permettra d'atteindre une croissance économique au-dessus des 7% et de dépasser dès cette année les niveaux pré-pandémiques avec un PIB d'environ 526 milliards de roupies selon les prévisions du FMI. Mesdames et messieurs, la confiance des investisseurs en Maurice est telle que les bénéfices se font ressentir au-delà de nos frontières. Et pour assurer in fine la prospérité du continent, nous devons continuer sur cette voie. En effet, un récent rapport publié par Capital Economics en août 2021 a révélé que 4,2 millions d'emplois en Afrique continentale sont soutenus par des investissements étrangers via Maurice, démontrant l'importance de notre secteur financier pour le continent. Plus encore, Maurice contribue à hauteur de 0,6% au PIB du continent, 9% de tous les investissements directs étrangers en Afrique continentale étant acheminés via notre juridiction. Cela représente quelques 6 milliards de dollars de recettes fiscales pour les gouvernements africains chaque année. Les opportunités à venir, notamment en ce qui concerne l'African Free Trade Agreement, sont immenses et ne feront que soutenir cette tendance. Les FTA ouvrent la porte à une plus grande collaboration en tant que vecteur de transformation économique et sociale de Maurice et de l'Afrique. Mesdames et messieurs, dans cette optique, la consistance de nos réformes et l'innovation doivent sous-tendre ce développement. L'inauguration du système de guichet unique en est l'une de ces clés de voûte. Un environnement adéquat est nécessaire pour que les particuliers et les entreprises puissent accéder au marché financier. Le guichet unique est un grand pas dans cette direction. Grâce à cette coopération, 3 organismes publics, l'Economic Development Board, la Commission des services financiers, plus connue FSC, et le CBRD, le Corporate and Business Registration Department, s'associent pour fournir des conseils et des services sous un même toit aux investisseurs potentiels. Petit rappel, j'étais encore à la Chambre de commerce et je crois que ça fait plus de 10 ans que certains spécialistes du secteur financier parlaient, et surtout ceux qui à l'époque étaient à la BOI, parlaient de ce plateforme, d'avoir ce genre d'intégration entre plusieurs entités publiques pour permettre une accélération du processus de collecte et de données d'information. En un seul clic, les investisseurs disposeront dorénavant de l'ensemble des facilités suivantes. Prise de rendez-vous en lien avec la FSC, le Registrar et EDB en utilisant le portail, rencontre avec les représentants des 3 autorités dans les locaux dédiés, échange sur les besoins en matière d'investissement et surtout traitement des demandes de manière rationnelle et coordonnée. Mesdames et messieurs, chers invités, je ne pourrais conclure mes propos sans saluer le travail de l'ensemble des parties prenantes et de paraphraser Isaac Newton en assurant que lorsque les forces sont jointes, leur efficacité est doublée. Je suis convaincu que le guichet unique fera l'honneur à ce pays et que l'efficacité de nos institutions et de son personnel se verra de plus en plus à travers ce plateforme. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you, Dr. the Honorable Minister, for your speech. I will kindly request you to come on stage as we shall proceed with launching of the video clip on the FSC single window. I will also request the Honorable Minister Nahem Kumar Siratan, Mr. Baldaya Konan Yukunundu, the Chairperson of the Financial Services Commission, and Mr. Daneshwar Thakur, Chief Executive of the Financial Services Commission, to join the stage to proceed with launching of the video clip. Thank you.
Mauritius leads in ease of doing business in Africa and ranks favorably in other international indices such as Mo Ibrahim Index of African Governance, Global Competitiveness Index, and the Wall Street Journal and the Heritage Foundation Index of Economic Freedom, with 13% GDP contribution, over 1,000 investment funds, and over 19,000 global business entities. The financial services sector is growing at a rapid pace with high employment rate. Its consistent growth during the past years bears testimony to its attractiveness amongst both local and international investors. The Financial Services Commission Mauritius, the regulatory body for the non-banking financial services sector in the country, has set up the FSC single window for local and international investors, a single point of contact to discuss their licensing and investment requirements. In line with the blueprint on the financial services sector, the FSC single window aims at establishing a customer-centric approach to serve financial institutions, corporates and high net worth individuals by providing all relevant information pertaining to licensing, occupational permits, business registration and others. This is the place where the FSC, the EDB and the CBRD will be available under a single roof. This reinforces the reputation of Mauritius as a leader in ease of doing business in Africa, with continuous solutions to reduce lead time and to streamline procedures. Amongst a plethora of functions and information, the FSC single window also allows prospective investors to book appointments with the Commission. The single window will be accessible to walk-in customers, but we strongly advise investors to book an appointment through our website. To book an appointment, investors will have to 1. Go to the main homepage, www.fscmauritius.org, and click on the single window menu. 2. Click on Book Your Meeting. 3. Fill in the required information and schedule the appointment. Instant acknowledgement of the meeting request will be sent. Prospective investors may be accompanied by their management companies. The the meeting request will be confirmed by the single window office team. The FSC single window thus reduces the hassle of booking multiple appointments and provides swifter interactions between institutions in Mauritius and prospects. Prospective investors seeking to operate in the non-banking financial services sector, like capital markets, global business, insurance, investment fund and fintech requiring a license from the FSC, can apply on the FSC One platform. May apply for occupational permits, resident permits, schemes, and other related investment needs. Whereas through the CBRD, they can incorporate and register their business. The FSC single window, a game changer towards digitalization and transformation of the financial services landscape in Mauritius.
I now have the pleasure to invite the Chief Executive of the Financial Services Commission, Mr. Daneshwar Thakur, the Chief Executive Officer of the Economic Development Board, Mr. Ken Kunusamy, and Mrs. Divanantam Chenyen, Registrar of Companies of the Corporate and Business Registration Department, to proceed with signature of the Memorandum of Understanding. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now reached a key point of our program for the inauguration of the FSC single window. To continue further, I have the pleasure to invite Dr. the Honorable Ranganathan Padayachi, the Honorable Bahen Kumar Sultan, Mr. Maudaya Kunandin Kunitu, Mr. Hemhad Ramyal, Mr. Daneshwar Thakur, Mr. Sorbam Singh Bhansal, Mr. Ken Kunusamy, and Mrs. Divanantam Chenyen to proceed to the first floor for the inauguration ceremony. I further request our guests to remain seated as the inauguration will be broadcasted live on the screen. Thank you.